What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to talk about some stage 30 event dungeon teams. I saw some videos from Cruisin' with Gallius soloing at stage 30. Well, I'm going to call it soloing, but it's not actually soloing. You're clearing the waves, and then the champion is soloing the second form of the boss, but I'm just going to say soloing. Just understand that it's not actually soloing. With that said, I saw that video from Cruisin', so shout out to him, and shout out to Bronco, who is doing some videos with Bavald as well as Urost soloing that second form of the boss. What I did on stream was spent the 2 hours or whatever testing out some other champions, and I came to basically the realization there's probably 3 things, 4 things, maybe 5 things that you really need to make this work. So number 1 is the golden elixir. You have to have this. If you don't have this on your champion, none of the strategies are going to work. None of them I know of, basically. So you have to have a golden elixir, and the higher rank, the better it's going to be. At 3-star, which I think is pretty easy to get for most players, you're going to get a 14% heal every time your HP drops below 50%. Now, the weird thing is, the Ward of the Fallen, whenever those skeletons hit you, each one of them count as like an individual hit. So your HP drops below 50%, it heals you back up. The next one drops it, heals you back up. So basically, you're not worried about the skeletons. You're not really worried about the A1s from the boss. The only thing you're worried about, if you have the golden elixir, is going to be making sure your HP stays up. But most importantly, that big AoE explosion hit. That big AoE hit has seemingly been the only thing to drop me below 50% HP, especially if you pair the golden elixir with masteries that are going to boost your healing. So rejuvenation, as well as lay on hands. Both of these are very helpful for getting extra heals from that golden elixir. Up next in masteries is going to be improved parry or blast proof. Both of these are going to reduce the damage you take, so you're probably going to want to pick one of them and go with it. As for the stuff below that, it's really just kind of whatever you want. I do have Lore of Steel, especially if you're going to go immortal sets or even defiant sets. This is very helpful. The retribution, it could probably be Cycle of Revenge and be better, but either way, retribution probably just makes the runs longer. Either way, we have golden elixir required. Proper mastery is very important. I picked up some extra HP as well, which has seemingly been very impactful. I haven't had so much luck if I went the offense masteries and picked a War Master. Really, it's just one thing doing all the damage, and that one thing is Brimstone. Now, this is the next thing that you're going to have to make sure is in the team. Honestly, a 6-star Brimstone makes all the difference, but a 5-star Brimstone can do the job. The issue, though, is you're going to have a very long run most of the time. The 5-star Brimstone has a 60% chance of placing. Also, well, 60% chance of placing Protected Smite. Also, it requires accuracy. So now you're taking your HP and defense build, and you're having to move some over to accuracy as well, which starts to make your stats be spread very thin. But if you're able to get that 6-star, well, then it's guaranteed 100% chance of placing and protected. So it is far, far better. So you really want to filter through to see your 6-star champions and then throw the Brimstone on those specifically. Anybody else, a 5-star, it's doable. And I did it. You can see right here in this UDK video in the replay on the live stream, this UDK was doing it, but it just so happened that when he was placing Brimstone, it was like the perfect like turn order, basically. Like if you place it when the boss uses no active skills, it's not going to kill the boss. But here, UDK was able to do it. This is stage 30 in what, 3.5 minutes? But I just now did it on the test server again, and he did it in 6 minutes. So it was a huge difference. This is not too bad. 6 minutes is terrible. So a 6-star Brimstone is ideal. So we have 6-star Brimstone, we have Arachne Elixir, we have good masteries. Next thing, before talking about the specific champions, is going to be your gear sets. Now, I noticed good success with 6 pieces of Defiant gear, even with, I'd say, arguably poor stats. Now, UDK is a bit interesting because he has this passive where he's boosting his HP, defense, and speed. Shout out to Defiler of Ears on YouTube. He gave me that recommendation in the chat. But he has the interesting passive, kind of in a way similar to Nice, that is going to make him have even more HP, defense, and speed. So he can kind of get away with these slightly lower stats. In general, you're going to be looking for like 120,000 plus HP, which is crazy. Speed, I haven't had to go super high in speed. And then accuracy and resistance, there's one champion who I actually like using who I don't really need any of that. But you want good stats. And if you can get those in Defiant, That's going to be great. But if your Defiant's not that good, like mine's not that good. However, this UDK is +4, so I figured, hey, having crit damage gloves that are basically useless is going to be fine to showcase because most players are not going to have an empowered UDK at all. So this kind of evens the playing field there. Now, if you don't have good Defiant gear, you can throw in 4 pieces of Defiant, which is going to reduce the damage from those skeletons and that big AoE hit. So you'll just be taking less damage, less chance to go below 50% HP. If you don't have plenty of good Defiant, you could throw in Immortal pieces. Now, these two are like really top tier Immortal pieces for like speed and everything and the sustainability. You could definitely do lower quality ones than that. Or you can drop down and go 2 pieces of Defiant and 4 pieces of Regeneration. I do think Defiant is very helpful, especially in preventing that big hit from dropping you below 50% HP. However, something worth considering is if you are noticing yourself drop below 50% HP, then Immortal or Regeneration becomes slightly more valuable, but you also have to build speed in that case. If you're just relying on the Golden Elixir, you don't need speed. But if you have to start relying on Regeneration and Immortal, then you do need enough speed to take some turns. That's another thing that you have to consider. Now, as for your champions, the champions I tested were Newt, he worked. I tested Walking Tomb Dring, he was my favorite. Frolny worked, UDK worked, and then, of course, Gallius works and some of the other ones. But you'll notice all these champions have 5, ideally 6-star Brimstone Blessings. 3 of these champions, Walking Tomb Dring, Newt, and I guess maybe actually just 2. 2 of them are Spirit Affinity. Spirit Affinity is definitely the easiest because they have less of a chance of getting crit, though they're still going to get crit because the boss does the increased crit rate, but they can take the hits a little bit better. Plus, you're not going to get any weak hits. My Frolny's issue was since he's Magic Affinity, he was getting weak hits on the boss, making his Brimstone just not place, which is very unfortunate. So you could go somebody like him if he can be built very strong, but the stats required are going to be pretty high. So the champion who I believe is going to be the most realistic is going to be Walking Tomb Dring. Walking Tomb Dring, with these stats, seem to do fine for me. 106,000 HP, decent speed, accuracy and resistance. I don't care about that. We're gonna go ahead and put on the Arachne Elixir, of course, and see how he can do. For some reason, the test server gets all weird with this swapping stuff. His masteries, I had him in War Master to see how his damage was. We can test and compare it in just a moment. But if you're having a hard time surviving, definitely swap it off of War Master. To be fair, I should probably put on Immortal pieces here, but we'll give it a shot and see how he does. Now, UDK, he did it. I'm not going to give him as an example, though, because it just takes so long. Now, as for this team setup, I said don't pay attention to this because it's just going to give you a basically false expectation, because the only thing you really need here is just something to clear the wave. If you want to clear the wave with Taras, Marichka, Lydia, go for it. You can use Taras, he can clear the wave, he can do very well. That's going to be actually perfectly fine. Matter of fact, I could try that. We're going to do this first because it's easier to, I guess, replicate on your own account. You don't need Sulfurion. I could easily throw in an Airbeus. The reason Sulfurion is here, sorry, I meant just a speed booster. I'm not going to just say, okay, yeah, just throw in your 6-star +2 Airbeus to replace for the Sulfurion. Not what I meant. What I meant is any speed booster, any increased turn meter, that is the role Sulfurion's playing, plus dropping some of the boss's HP. But you can swap him out for somebody else. He has a good aura, but Walking Tomb Dring also has an aura. So basically, my champions are not that fast. So I needed something to make me a little bit faster, and that was the best option, or just a good option for me. So as for the presets, we have Lydia doing the A2, we have Seer doing the A3, and then Newt doing this A3 as well. Now, I don't care if my team dies because I don't expect them to do anything past that first turn. So the block revive is irrelevant. But, I mean, of course, if Dring dies, then that's horrible. The run just fails. But other than that, it doesn't really matter. So we have Seer clear the waves, and then Walking Tomb Dring continues on to just kill the boss. And you'll see here in a moment how much he's healing once he gets down low. Now, of course, if you have a 4-star, a 5-star, maybe even one day a 6-star Golden Elixir, this is going to be far easier. But you'll see here that I'm getting hit for 7,000, I'm healing for 15,000. I'm not being healed for that much. I also don't have the masteries giving me the extra heals, the damage reduction like I should. This is a, okay, let's try to get this sped up. Let's go with War Master, try to go a bit more aggressive approach versus we're going to go the Elixir of Life, I think it is what's called, the extra 3000 HP, the extra heal boost, all that kind of stuff. This is the more so, hey, let's try to get this done kind of quick. I want to try to make it somewhat relatable to you guys. Obviously, I know this is a +4 Walking Tomb Dring, but the 80% crit damage gloves kind of balance things out, I hope. So he doesn't have the craziest gear, but he is +4. So hopefully you can hit close to these stats. If you have a 6-star blessing, then I'm sure you'll be able to at least do it close. But as for some other champions, you can definitely get away from Spirit Affinity champions. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Like I said, if you're not taking crits or any hits that drop you below 50% HP, you're going to be fine. You're going to do this every single time, no problem. But if you start taking hits that are going to drop you below 50% HP, that's when things get sketchy. This actually looked really good. This was a really fast run, actually. We're looking at less than 2 minutes solo with Walking Tomb Dring. That is some cool stuff. Well, I say solo, but I mean, you know, just solo in this form of the boss. That True Fear is also really annoying. Oh, see, look. That's where things go bad. That's where things go south right there. You slip below 50% HP, and then boom, the run gets sketchy. So that is something you're going to have to be mindful of. And like I said, this would have helped me heal for more. This would have helped me heal for more. Let's actually go ahead and swap it. And I don't really think having the War Master really makes that much of a difference. You see there, I was at 2 minutes. But if we do this again, we'll see how long it takes now. Now, this is not to say this is going to be 100% safe, because I don't think it will be 100% safe. But, actually, no, to be honest, I do think this will be 100% consistent if you can get the wave clear consistent with Walking Tomb Dring. I think he's the best option for this because of his HP burn and everything he brings. I can make his gear a bit better as well. I already know going into this that he's a bit lower than what I would like for him to be. As for the HP and everything, I would rather him be like 110, 120,000. 120,000 HP would be like the sweet spot, but I know that's hard to hit. I don't want to go in here trying to do that and making it even harder for you guys to achieve these results. So you'll see here, he's getting healed for 18,000 per hit. He's making a bit more of a difference in his HP. And then ideally, if he gets hit with any crits from the boss, from like this ability right here, hopefully it crits. We'll see in a little bit if it does. But if he gets hit with a crit, hopefully he can heal enough to make up for what that hit did and then boost him back above 50% HP. Of course, a higher level golden elixir will make that a little bit easier as well. So there we go. Good timings on the brimstones there. The little skeleton's never going to kill him just because they can't, because they're just hovering at that 50% HP mark. The only thing that can kill him, as far as I'm aware, is this big explosion. Places weaken, and it can't be resisted anyway, so it's hitting for 22,000 on a crit. I just healed for 20,000. So can it ruin me? Yeah, it definitely could. But is it very likely? No, because it did 22,000 damage, and I healed for 20,000. So I was a little bit off, but it's right on that edge, where if I was to glyph him, boost his stats a little bit, it'd be fine. He's healing now 20,000 HP, or 20,576 divided by 0.14. Actually, no, that's not right. Never mind. Forget that. 14%. Oh, wait. No, I guess it would be. He's healing as if he had 140,000 HP, I guess, from the other. The way the stats, the way the rejuvenation and things like that work, I believe they're multiplicative. Either way, they stack up quite a bit, and you end up healing a ton, which overall makes these runs faster, of course. So here we go. We got the brimstone dropping then and the brimstone dropping now. 2 minutes and 15 seconds, basically. That's not a bad time whatsoever. This is good. Now, like I said before, these champions are not required. Let's go ahead and drop some of them out. So I'm going to put these champs in, and people are going to say, well, this is even worse than it was before. And yes, you're right. This is going to be worse than it was before. But this is basically just, okay, now you can start expanding on what I originally recommended. Now you can start going in here and doing a bit more of these kind of, you know, ridiculous teams. These little bit more OP ones. Now, we could even just get rid of the Marichka and throw in a Crixia or a Yumiko and have her reset and have Taras go again. I don't care. Just get everything killed as soon as possible is the goal here. Get them all killed, switch that second form, and have it good to go. If we have champions who can do good damage to the boss, hey, that's excellent. Obviously, we're not going to be able to keep the HP burn up very long because the boss will just cleanse that. And I don't really expect to go into that second wave with many champions alive. But if I even had one champion alive, that's going to be, well, if Taras is alive, that's going to be solid. Because Taras will do some really good damage. Okay, some champs died. Doesn't really matter. The boss in this form, the only thing we could die to here is if Hefrak was to do a massive hit and kill me. That could definitely be a way I could die here. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But basically, guys, you get the idea. The idea of the thing. See what he does. Boom. Okay, 21,000. He's not dying. Like, we're going to be fine here. If we get Taras back around to do the AoE hit again, excellent. If we could hit a little bit harder, that'd be really good, though. Okay. Too big of hits. Obviously takes him down too low. Let's see. If I was to get in a Duchess or something, how would that look for Taras? Because he's gonna get a little bit more damage because of the buffs being placed. This is just some more theory crafting stuff here. But I'll probably end up building Walk Entomb Drink for my account on the live servers to give him a shot there because I think it is a very solid option. Very solid team for that. We could actually just have a Yumiko in here in place of Sulfurion and probably just have her, or a Crixia, just go again, basically. Or two nukers. Obviously, if you had double Taras, would be one thing. All right, so we got that. Let's see. Let's try something a little bit different. This is just to speed it up. This is not even the solo stuff at this point. Just messing around with some different things. We're going to go Crixia because I want her to 1. And then we'll go 2. And then we'll go 3. And then we'll go 1 for the reset. See how this works out. It could be interesting. It's going to lock out most of the champs. So the Wither won't be able to do the cleanse. Lady decrease defense and weaken. And then we can place block buffs on them all. Potentially in just a moment. Which I guess she's not going to place the unkillable just yet anyways. I think she does a cleanse first, right? Yeah, she does a cleanse first. So I actually just need to go ahead and reset her stuff. That'd be the best way to do this. So now we reset. So I guess just skipping that A3 skill, just go straight for the reset. Be good to go. Let me try that. Sorry guys, this is getting a little bit, I don't know, maybe off. Maybe you all like this. But it may be the play to just nuke that first wave and then use a champion to solo the second form of the boss, because that form is ridiculous. The block revives. If you want to keep a whole team alive over there, I do think the golden elixir would be very powerful, but in general, it's very difficult to keep everybody alive over there. All right, so they can do some cleanses, but that's all they can do. The boss will. But if Lydia cuts in here, hey, we're looking good. Okay, so Lydia cut in, decrease defense and weaken. Hey, that's actually perfect. So 32 seconds, got to the boss other side. All right, so Taras is here. The boss has a lot of buffs. You also really don't want decrease. Also, make sure if you're using a champion with like a, okay, it made no difference. If you're using a champion with like a increased attack buff, like a Mithrala, make sure you turn off their increased attack because the boss will steal your stuff and it will wreck you. So if you're using continuous heal champion like UDK, turn that off. Because even if you do build with a lot of resistance, which I don't think you could actually resist it anyways. Yeah, can't resist. So don't even do that. It's just a bad idea. But if you did bring a champion who you thought you could use that skills on, don't. Just turn it off. Don't let the ball steal it. Revive on death, turn it off. Unkillable, turn it off. Increase attack, all that kind of stuff. Just turn the stuff off. It's not going to help you out one bit. Now here, we got a good Brimstone lineup. We got double hits there. This is obviously not speed tuned. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe you think it was speed tuned, but I didn't speed tune it to the boss in any way. You could do that. Like, okay, I don't know what the Brimstone cooldown is, but if you had the right speed, you could kind of get it to go whenever the boss had the skills ready to go. Then you could be placing it. because I bet he's about to place it and it's going to be wrong. Though we got the fear, so maybe it wouldn't even work. It wouldn't even matter. So now it's there, and we're only going to get one activation of it, unfortunately, because Brimstone only activates when it's a active skill going off, which makes me think, if we had 2 champions here doing this, then we would be able to clear this a bit faster, because you can alternate back and forth, right? 2 6-star Brimstone champions, that could actually work out. If I had 2 solid sets, I could go UDK plus Dring, and then have Seer, Lydia, Duchess or something. That might actually work pretty well, because then UDK would be placing his stuff, and Dring would be doing his thing. We'd keep Brimstone up quite a bit. UDK wouldn't be the best option, though, because he's 5-star Brimstone for me. So there we go. We have a Brimstone up that's just completely off timing on this stuff. So none of it's going to even matter. And I just cycle back around to the being on time with the Brimstone, basically. Which is just no good, obviously. We can't resist that. But this is a good showcase of how consistent he should be winning the right masteries and everything. So War Master, Giant Slayer, things like that aren't really going to make a huge difference as far as your actual runtime. It all comes down to Brimstone and getting it up. So yeah, I think honestly, having 2 champs with 6-star Brimstone, which is very difficult to get, and for most players, it's not going to be very realistic. But if you could have 2 champs like that, you're going to be able to bounce those back and forth and maybe be okay. Which I do have a champion who could kind of do it, Mithrala. So I may have to give her a shot. Walking Tomb Dring plus Mithrala may be a good answer. But hey, the biggest thing is here, we're surviving. We're surviving well. To be honest, if the second champion just survived a little bit, that's really all you need. Right? So 16,000 damage, 20,000 heal. We're safe. We're safe. We have that mitigation from the Defiant set. So we're looking good. 4 minutes? Yeah, it's not great. Let's try this, guys. Okay, so we have a little bit of a different idea here. We're gonna go Seer, of course. Seer, Lydia. So I want to do Sulfurion, just because I think he's good for my account to help speed it up. Plus, he does a turn meter boosting stuff. He's definitely not needed, but he is good for that. So what we're gonna do here is open and then don't use. And then to be honest, we don't really need that, because she's just gonna be stripping stuff anyways. So we're just gonna put don't use on that either. And then what we're going to do for Mithrala is we're going to put her, she's at 5-star Blessing, which is actually not what I thought she was. I thought she was 6-star Blessing. We're going to put her in Regeneration. She's going to be really fast. This just because I had this preset done already. That's the only reason why I'm doing it like this. She got a lot of HP, really fast, 350 speed. But all I want to see is how does this work? Also, I don't know what her accuracy was. Got a feeling it's, she placed the Hex, so that's pretty cool. She placed her debuffs correctly. She may just die here. Oh, she has no golden elixir, so you're about to see how this works. Okay, so she's just getting annihilated, basically. Let's go in here and give her golden elixir real quick. So we have multiples. It's a relatively easy relic to get, right? Fairly easy one. Take it from the chicken. Yeah, we have this. It's not going to do anything. Remove that. Yes. And then put this on. Now, if I was to take this up, it would actually be, it would make it work even better. You'll see here, like, this is starting to get a little bit more unrealistic, because having that level of relic is going to be very hard for most players to get. And I understand that. I just want to see how this is going to look, though. So 514 accuracy, looking good. So basically, I'm going to be healing for even more than I was before. Her masters are all good, by the way. I already checked those. I did that earlier. So I think she placed that Brimstone just now. Or that, yeah, Brimstone. Which is awesome. Helps Seer clear the waves a little bit better. The HP burn stuff is fine. I don't care if those champions die. It's okay. She has some poisons as well, which is going to help out. But she's getting hit hard. She's also healing for a lot. 15,000, 13,000. Yeah, a lot of damage being taken here. But we should have some good uptime on this Brimstone stuff. Can she replace the Brimstone, though? It's not 6-star. If it was 6-star, it would be perfect. But it's not. She does get the brimstone up, which is actually huge. So maybe this is just the new way to do this. We have 20,000 ticks from the poisons. Dring is going to come in and do this, which I mean is not a fun strategy, right? Because now you need 2 champions with 5 and 6-star brimstones. But yeah, this is definitely a way to make it pretty fast. Like under 2 minutes. It could be a little bit better if you land the brimstones more, I guess, or better timed out, because this is a wasted brimstone. But I guess you hit some, you miss some. It is what it is. There's some poisons going out as well. Okay, no brimstone landed there, unfortunately. I mean, not too bad so far. No brimstone. We need to land one now. That'd be perfect. Mithrala's doing her brimstones much better than Mr. 6-star Dring is. That's for sure. Dang. But all right, cool. I mean, this is a great team if you're able to pull this off. But I mean, I guess Mithrala did have an event not too long ago, right? Where you got to get her soul, I think. Obviously, if you have a 6-star Dring, then you're in the minority. But a team like this can do it good, can do it consistent. Should we try it again? Let's try it one more time. I like this. Cool. So got a little bit off the initial topic there, but I think that could be valuable for a lot of you, seeing the thought process behind it and the, I guess, the team and its makings and how it actually is going to work. Also think that Mithrala and the team could make it safer. I mean, kind of. She's not even using her A3, so not really. She's not really doing anything other than just bringing some poisons and an extra brimstone. That's all she's bringing. She may be getting those extra turns and like actually doing more work than Dring because she's so much faster. So she's like 350, right? 360. Very, very, very strong build. Where Dring is sitting at 240, 250. So while he works, not as good as Mithrala does. Which makes sense. So we get one brimstone proc there. I bet you Dring is about to place it. He's about to get his hit, place his brimstone. Yeah. And then have completely wasted. So there may not even be a huge difference between 1 or 2 champions. Of course, Mithrala's, you know, little chunk of poisons every so often are nice. And we probably are getting some Terminator boosts because of the Cycle of Revenge mastery as well, since we do have 2 champions. Yeah, neither one of them are dying, which is pretty sweet. So we have poisons and HP burns going out with some brimstone, which is really the star of the show. There we go. And brimstone's just really the thing that's doing it. Consistent 2-minute runs. Not too bad at all. And you can make it faster if you're able to clear those waves with a different champion. I mean, honestly, the Siegfried strategy that I was doing, this may be a way to make it slightly safer, potentially. The Siegfried strat I did was basically... Where's Siegfried? He's right here. Zeal, yeah. So what we'll do is I will test this out. So I need Siegfried and Calvalax. I don't know if I can kill him with just these 2 champions. But this may make it so that even without having the Death Dealer, this is still safe and fast. Because now it comes down to, okay, if I can kill them all. Oh, wait, he's slow. Never mind. Crap. He's super slow. Oh, well, it's a little bit of an issue there. We'll put him in the lead spot real quick. Calvalax. We can just use Dring for this. We'll go rank. We'll go Shuzhen. So basically now this is... We don't have the Gerp Tuk like I had before, but as long as Siegfried can kill the Mortu or whoever he's targeting here, oh crap, that's not right. We had to actually not weak hit on the Wither as well. So that may be too difficult to do actually. What we'll do is we'll open with that. This is just more spitballing basically and just more distractions. There we go. Boom. Okay, 4 million. Almost kills the boss. Obviously doesn't quite kill her. But now we have Dring, who's not going to die. Dang, 13 seconds with Walking Tomb Dring. So that's pretty cool. We'll try this a few times because this actually may be a team I can run on the main servers. This actually, I would run this one. If I don't have to worry about Siegfried's and the Death Dealer shenanigans, I would definitely run this. I mean, this may not be too bad of inconsistencies, right? As long as you don't have any heals going out from anybody here, which we don't, you have to worry about Volcanos kill. Oh, no, sorry, you do, actually. You have Wither healing. Yeah, so there's some options you could definitely do here, make this work. We do have a Brimstone there, which is kind of cool. We'll try it again, though. The continuous heal stuff's super nasty. And she'll swap forms. I mean, is it a big deal? I don't even know. Volcanos is going to be the one who could possibly kill me. But could he? Only got 2 skeletons this time coming out. But her heals are going to be what's really annoying, though, basically. So you'd have to have a way to get rid of Withers consistently. So I would still need the Death Dealer Relic. I can't, unfortunately, go and do Affinity Breaker gear for Siegfried because that's kind of crazy. Just feels weird. But either way, guys, that is a lot of tangent on the video I originally planned to do. But hopefully you guys got some different ideas. And ultimately just, hey, clear this first wave, get the boss to the next form, and then have a solo champion finish it off for you. That seems to be the way to go. If you get Sun Wukong to do it, you could also have that work. I know he can do it on stage 20, right? Sun Wukong does work on 29. Let me show you real quick what that looks like, if I can. If I can make this work. It may even work on stage 30. Where's the equipped? Okay, so we're good. But I don't have my the relics on the test server just so messed up. Either way, just trust me. He does do work. But either way, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what teams and things you're working on and what you found for this event dungeon. I'm really liking the one champ solo, rest of the champs clear the wave strategy. I think this is going to be the safest for a lot of players. And hey, maybe I even just use it for Siegfried. If I could find a different champion to make sure that the Wither and stuff got locked out, how could I do that? How badly do I need this Lydia doing the decreased defense and weaken? That's a good question. How badly is that needed? Or is decreased defense and weaken more important than the Kavlax poisons? I don't really know. Let's see. Because locking them out would be pretty huge. Where's Shuzan? Okay, he did 500,000. No poisons were even there anymore. It's because the Lydia wasn't there to place the decreased defense and weaken. So let's see. If I was to just throw in Lydia, obviously it's not going to be 100% consistent because she misses this stuff sometimes. We'll throw this in real quick, last time, and then I'm done. But now the Wither is locked out. And then I'll place block buffs and things. Somehow I'm getting that stuff stripped. I mean, that's pretty good. Did a lot of damage. Even without decreased defense and weaken up. So we don't really need the Kavlax there to begin with, it seems. If I'm able to get swapped into that second form pretty quickly, or at least do a big chunk to the boss's HP, that'll be huge. Whether everybody dies or not, doesn't matter. Some of that stuff going. So yeah, Siegfried can be used. Interesting. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. I'm curious now. Either way, thank y'all for watching. Appreciate it. Best of luck. Let me know what kind of teams you guys come up with this stuff especially. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one.